Hi guys, it's Alia. Welcome back to my channel. So, I recently, actually not too long ago, because I'm not sure exactly when this video is going to upload, but not too long ago, I had this idea in my head, um, like concerning glue books. And my friend Lolly, she is like the queen of glue books and, like art journals and things like that. And I got into them uh, recently, and I made one for myself, one that it wasn't too big. But then I had this idea, if I made a very like little teeny tiny one and sent it to her and see if she would be able to um, do like the glue book thing in a smaller scale. So I did that. Then after I made hers, I thought, oh, you know what? That would be really cute to make some for the craft fair that I'm doing in November. And call them like art slash glue books, I guess, or sketchbooks, something like that. So I did end up making 2, 4, 6, 8. I ended up making 10 of them, as you can see. And let me just show you. So this is the same exact size that hers was. I did it a little differently on these when I made them. So they measure, it's 2 inches the height, and then the width is 1.5 inches. And oh my gosh, they're like the cutest little things. And when you open it, see on hers, since it was kind of like the first time I had the idea, I put a ribbon, like it's inside, so it's like a permanent ribbon. But then I thought, you know, for selling at a craft fair, maybe people don't want to, tie and retie. It's not going to be sitting on their desk in their craft room waiting to be, like what she would do. So I thought it could also be something you can throw in your purse or something like that. So I ended up putting little Velcro straps on all of them. And basically, it's all blank. And the paper that I used, I forget, oh, I have it here. It's like called rag paper, I think. So it has almost like a, I don't know, like a fabric feel to it, but it's paper. I don't know if that makes sense. So it's completely blank. And, somebody could journal in it. You could use it as a glue book. You could do little drawings in it, whatever you want. But I thought it was the cutest little thing. So we are going to attempt to make one together. And I say attempt because I make these, like when you're not on camera. And sometimes when you're on camera, things happen. And, so I wrote down everything that I have done already. So I'm just calling them the Micro Minis Art / Glue books. So I gave the measurements already. So it's the height is 2.5, and then the width is 1.5. Then I just a note for myself. I have to cut the pages down. So here's the pages. I cut them down already. And I don't know if you can notice this on camera. The edges aren't perfect. They almost look kind of like ripped, because what I do is I didn't want the complete such a straight line. So I used one of my duller blades on my paper cutter, and I kind of see how kind of like almost it cuts it, but it tears it at the same time. So we're going to set the pages aside for now. Oh, the pages, I cut them at, it's 2 3/4 by 1 7/8. And there are 16 pages total. And then this is what it is. And as you can see, maybe, I don't know, maybe if I open it up, can you see all the score marks? This is a file folder. So I just took a file folder and I cut it down to 1.5 inches. So then I had a long strip. I just turned it sideways and I cut it at 2, 2, 2, 2. And so you can get 5 of these from one file folder. I mean, of course, you don't need to use a file folder. I just happen to have like a tonnage of file folders, so that's what I use. And this is the material I'm going to use. And so it's basically really simple. It's doing the doing a larger size journal cover, just on a smaller scale. And it's funny because, you know, I do, like, I create both large or, you know, regular size junk journals as well as small ones. And you would think, oh, you know, it's so small, it must be so easy. Believe it or not, small journals, they have the same amount of, like, you have to do the same amount of things to a small journal, but sometimes smaller journals can even be a little bit trickier because they're small. So sometimes it's like hard to handle. Well, I don't know. My fingers are always, I feel like I always have thumbs, but um, sometimes for me, it's harder to create something really small than a regular size journal, or a journal that's a little bit bigger than this. So, like all my covers, and I'm not really going into detail about what I'm doing because I've done lots of cover videos, so where I explain more in depth, but they're basically all the same. I put the fabric on, I tuck the corners, and then I retuck, you'll see. So, oh, there we go. Yeah, this is what I'm saying. Like with smaller journals, everything is just so small. You have to kind of like be so little and handy with everything. It's not like a bigger journal where there's plenty of room. And you know what? I'm thinking, let me zoom in a little bit. I don't know if I can. Oops. Hold on. Sorry. You're going to wiggle a little bit. I'm thinking that's a little bit better. Hopefully you can see a little bit more. And so gluing the sides in. And I always like to use my little pink finger because I like to make sure that the glue is spread evenly, because sometimes I've found that say, like, all right, so you know how I just put the glue on just like this, just like that. On some material, it would actually, this would bleed through and you would be able to see the glue lines and stuff. But when you spread it out, it doesn't bleed as much. I have run into some material that, I mean, regardless what you do, it always seems to sort of run through. But see, I don't know if you can see. You can't really see anything leaking through. So, oops. Sometimes when I adjust the camera to get a little bit closer, I tend to go off screen a little bit more accidentally. And I do sew them, so I'm not really sure why I like to use Fabri-Tac. I think just because maybe it is fabric, because realistically, even if I use glue stick or any kind of other glue for this, I'm still sewing around, so it's still going to be very secure on there. Now, for those of you who do not sew your covers, then I would, yeah, definitely suggest that you use Fabri-Tac, or, you know, some really strong fabric type glue, just to hold it on, you know, because you don't want your little books or little journals or whatever you're making falling apart. That would be really sad. All right, so let me put this aside for now. So there we have our little cover, and this looks like it's the front, because I think I can't really tell which way I don't know. Though it does look like, you know, this would be like an L and an A. So I'm going to go with this as the front. All right, so now we need to do our inside, and there's no, oh, you know what? Hold on. There we go. I don't have this. I just kind of measure like this. I don't have any measurements for the inside. I mean, of course, you could definitely measure it if you want. But I just go like that. And I don't know if you're going to be able to see what I'm doing right now. Oh, hold on. I have the wrong blade in there. Oopsies. Let me switch this real quick. Sorry. Okay. And I think I'm off camera, so I do apologize. But I'm just basically cutting it down. Okay, so what did I say? This is, I don't know. Because see, now that looks like a D. But that doesn't look right either. Huh. I'm just going to stay with this as a front cover. All right, so I just got to look and see if we need to make any adjustments. And this actually looks pretty good. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's perfect. Alrighty. So again, I am going to take the Fabri-Tac. And I just realized I am going to have to do this in 2 parts, but I'll put the 2 parts one right after another. Because I need to let the Fabri-Tac dry before I sew around the outside. And of course I can't pause on my phone that I record on because it's just, I don't know, it doesn't have a pause button, which is so weird to me. Okay. So I'm just going to do my best to, I mean, the nice thing about using glue is it does give you just a few seconds to adjust if need be. All right, so I'm actually going to stop the video here. And don't forget, the other video, the part 2, will be on right after this. It's just that I need to let all of this dry. And then, actually, while I'm off camera, what I will do is I will do the sewing around, because I basically just do 1 stitch all the way around. And then when we come back, we will put in the pages, and we will also, and I don't know which one I'm going to use, but we also have to make the little strap. So that is it for part 1. So stay tuned. Right after this will be part 2 once everything is dried. So as always, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.